Hi everyone, my name is Marta, I'm 14 years old and I'm here to share some of my opinions with you. Some of the main challenges in my country, Serbia, include violence, poverty, and insufficient participation of children in decision making that concerns them. Recently, our right to express our opinions on social issues has also been increasingly challenged. Still, there are not many such programs. After the tragic school shooting 2 years ago, a program intended for implementation in schools began to develop, but little progress has been made. Some community organizations run programs, but they reach only a small number of children in Serbia. This is a significant issue as not even every city has a psychologist available.
Hello everybody, my name is Nina and I am a high school student from Serbia, and I wanted to give you some insight on what is the current situation in Serbia like, and how are our education systems, healthcare systems set up. So first of all, I'd like to talk a bit about education, which in my opinion is one of the most important aspects of everyone's life. So to start off, education is free and it is relatively accessible to everybody, but that does not mean that the education that everybody has access to is of good quality. So to start off, our teachers and like the staff that is basically working in schools, first of all, they are underpaid, and then they are not trained and educated in providing education that is up to modern standards. Also, when it comes to rural areas, not everybody has the access to technology, to good infrastructure, and that all makes it a lot more difficult to have good quality education. Also, another thing is that education is not only what we have in schools. There is also informal educations, workshops, and stuff like that that allows children to gain knowledge outside of school, of just like the basic school curriculum. And those type of activities and initiatives are not funded. I'm not going to say at all, but definitely they are not funded enough, and then also they are not available to everybody. And I think that quality education is the key to success of every human being.
Hi, my name is Samir Alcic. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I think the main challenge that children face in education and accessing education in our community is the people. But I think all in all, healthcare is pretty accessible in our community. Measures for preventing child labor and exploitation maybe are non-existent. I know a lot of examples where underage children are already working to support their family in restaurants or some other places similar, working as waiters. It's a pretty bad thing to hear that an underage child is working long hours, 8 to 9 hours. Sometimes even I've heard examples of 10 to 12 hours working shifts, not even of age, basically underage children working 10 to 12 hours, which is very bad. I think the labor laws are seriously underdeveloped and they are in serious breach of child endangerment laws.
Hi, I'm Una, I'm 15 years old and I'm from Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Today I wanted to address some of the biggest issues children in my community have. One of the biggest, if not the biggest issue in our community is the lack of mental health support. I think we could prevent this by doing a lot of school workshops, by doing a lot of anti-bullying campaigns and things like that. Another problem is child abuse, child neglect, and child abandonment.
Hi, my name is Yasmin Estela Grada, and I'm currently a first-year student at the International Buduć University in Sarajevo. I study international relations and European studies, and I will be just answering a couple of questions about children's rights, focusing on Bosnia and Herzegovina because I do live here and that's what I know mostly. So first question is, what are the main challenges children face in accessing education in our community? So in Bosnia and Herzegovina, children, especially from marginalized groups, such as, for example, Roma population, they face difficulties in accessing quality education due to poverty, discrimination, and lack of infrastructure. We also have a problem with rural areas often having a lack of adequate school facilities and or transportation to the nearest school facility. In rural areas, it is very hard to find a school very close by, and it's very hard to get to the nearest school. The nearest schools could be 2 hours, 2.5 hours away even, and there would be no adequate transportation for the children to be able to go to their schools.